What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Carlotta Chat with a Show. Okay, this is okay. I always say this and it end up not being. I say it's gonna be a short show, and it ends up not being a short show. But hopefully today it will be. I don't know. It depends on how I get to yapping. Yeah, 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 yeah. Okay, so you guys, I hope you have had a wonderful week. Listen, I am in the South, and we've been snowed. I mean, we've been snowed in for like 3 or 4 days now. I've been going out the last couple of days and stuff like that to different things and everything because I've been having to do stuff. But oh my goodness, it's crazy. And when you live in well, and plus I'm from Kansas City, you know what I'm saying? This weather kind of happens all the time. So if you're from Kansas City, you kind of used to this weather. But in some senses, you once you live in the South so long, you get used to it being warm outside. So you're kind of like, ugh. But I always know Texas's winter months, in my opinion, since I've been here, has always been either late December, January, February, and you might have a surprise in March, but it's usually over after that. But yeah, so it's been really yeah, interesting. Very cool. And it's, a week before I get ready to go on the Maxwell cruise. I'm so excited about this cruise. Yeah, I am excited. I've been getting my stuff ready. I had to rearrange some outfits and stuff like that. I just realized I was talking. I was talking to somebody. I guess what is it? Oh, I was talking to someone about the cruise and everything like that. So, you know, I, I, I'm like, it's I don't know. One of my the people who I know that have been on the several cruises. The couple of cruises with them. They were asking me how I feel about it. I was like, oh, I'm excited or whatever. I'm also trying to keep an eye open about it on every aspect of it, so I can tell you guys what to watch out for. Like people, somebody was asking me my kind of little review. One of my relatives, because they wanted to go on it next year. What I think? What do I think so far? And I told her, I said, I'm gonna tell you the truth. Now, I'm a person who like to dress up. I'm a dressy person. I like to be cute and everything like that. So yeah, of course, I had to buy some outfits and stuff. Before the cruise. But here's my truth about it so far. This is I haven't got on the cruises yet, but this is the preparation for the cruise. I would tell people, this is my personal opinion. It's expensive. I no, I that's not. Because if you're used to dealing, because this particular relative was telling me all the good deals they be getting on Carnival and all of these things and everything like that, and I'm like, okay, well, let me tell you, because he got, first of all, it's a concert on a boat. It's like, so I said, so you got to think of that part, and you're traveling to other places. So I said, so let me explain to you how I even see it as preparation beforehand. I said, first off, you have to be looking at, make sure that you have your hotel and everything, then stay the night before. And from what I've been told by a lot of people that have been on it, they say don't leave the day of. And when you come back, don't leave the day of, because it's crazy. It was hard for me to leave the day of, because most of the flights coming back I have to leave early morning. So out of Miami. So I had to add another day to my stay in Miami when I come back. So you have to be prepared for things like that. I say that, like this particular relative was asking me, well, how long would I say save? I would say that if you can get in, if you're planning on doing this cruise, and I think, every cruise, it's worth it to do it. He's supposed to be doing these annually. Um, I would say that you should plan a year out. And if you want to be, legitimately have a night, it nice. And here's something else I've realized, I found out, because my roommate is a drinker. I am not a big drinker. Listen, I I like a good drink every now and then, but I've never been really big on drinking or stuff like that, because my family has, and the reason why is because, I have a tendency, I mean, I could be an addictive personality. That's the first thing. And my family, I've watched that kind of drug, alcohol, and stuff like that. I didn't want no parts of. So I'm very, very careful about drinking, and especially, just that's just how I am. And plus, I grew up a church girl, so you know what I'm saying. So I do have certain things. I do, like, I'm a cuss like a sailor, but I drinking is just that I do it here and there, but it's not my thing. So what I found out, my roommate's a drinker. So me and my roommate, we found out that Norwegian, it was so interesting. They have this big drink pack, right? That for you, if you want unlimited drinks of anything, you know what I'm saying? It's like it's a crazy amount of money to me. Well, not for drinkers, it isn't, but for me, it would be crazy. She couldn't buy the package without me buying it. I was like, what the fuck? I felt so bad because I'm like, I don't drink like that. And I was considering buying the package. And then I even had considered, like just paying for my own thing. So she, it was just crazy. But yeah, but I didn't like that. So, but I'm told, some people told me that on the regular cruises, well, when I was talking to a person, they told me that usually they don't do that on chartered cruises. That I guess because this is a charter cruise, they don't make you pay, but maybe something's going where they're doing it this cruise. Like they make everyone, it's usually on the Norwegian side of the cruise. Yeah, they do that. So that's very interesting. So I was just like, wow, y'all gonna force me to get drunk? I'm not a drinker. I'm just not that thing. I like to, I do like to drink. I do drink every now and then, and I do have nice drink, but I am a person who just does not, and I like drinking around a certain thing. You know what I'm saying? I might be a drinker when I'm like, when I'm in my Beyonce mood. I've been drinking. I've been drinking. I get busy with that liquor. But I gotta be at a certain, not on this group. So yeah, yeah. So that's already some things I'm seeing, kind of where I'm going. Yeah, eh. What so far? What I'm looking, I haven't got on the cruise itself, but this is what I can tell you. I told you guys I was gonna kind of give you my little, um, my whole thing going towards the cruise. What else do I find interesting about it? I don't know, because okay, here's what people are telling me that been on a cruise. They tell me it was more, if they say it's a new cruise, it's a new boat this year. So I think maybe that's some of the issue. And then we've had a lot of stuff going on internationally, stuff like that. So maybe they're trying to um, set things up or something like that. But they told me people who've been on a cruise before say it's a little bit more disorganized than normal. I don't know if that's true or not, but this I'm hearing from several. I've heard that from several people. I do find a sense. I'm a Virgo moon, so it's hard to, I like to see. I be like, I be looking at every little thing. And I used to work in customer service for years. I used to be a manager in customer service and retail. So I'm always looking at details of how people are doing things. And I'm like, what the fuck? So I'm a little hardcore when it comes to that stuff. So this is my personal opinion of what I have, just what I see. Yes, I can feel that little bit of energy there. Here's what I would say. It's important. I think Rose tours. I got a hotel. Was able to get a hotel through one of the discounted hotel. This when they had now. But I think when you're going to do something like this cruise, I mean, you really, what you should look at I tell people, look at the years of what Essence Fest was able to do years ago, starting with years ago, not just the new regime. But years ago, this started when Essence Fest. One of the great things I love about Essence Fest is before, when you used to, this was years ago too. It's not as organized to me anymore as it used to be, but you could go on and find hotels at a discount. Like there was a site, they had an actual site, hotels at a discount, what you're looking, you know what I'm saying, what you can do, what you can get, and everything. So you can play that should be done ahead of time. So, getting people so your people when they're coming into town and everything can have places to stay that who would maybe offer the discount for this cruise. I didn't see that list. It should have been a list, in my personal opinion, somewhere, not just Rose Tours putting out little sporadic things here and there. Okay, like here's a yeah, we got this. When I sign up for this cruise, it should be automatically giving me a website to go to, and I can see that kind of thing. Okay. Um, Also, I'm trying to be not say this because I know I'm excited about it, but I'm just trying to tell you guys what I've noticed so far. And I haven't went on a cruise yet. Okay. I say plan. So there's a couple things. Plan a year out if you're going to do this cruise and you're really serious because it is expensive. Okay. And I understand why they do that. I understand in some senses. Okay. Also, I told you I didn't like the drink thing, the drink package where you have to be drinking. You have to have a drink package with if your roommate's a drinker. uh, you know, I want to say, I want to spend my money on excursions or doing something I like. Like I have a one fun excursion planned when I'm in the Dominican Republic that I really want to do. I'm more into culture and see. I don't have to drink. I want to see some of the place. I want to see a place I go to. So I'm more into seeing what people live like. You know what I'm saying? What's it like? You can't get that in that small amount of time, but you can get a sense of some things. And so I'm more into that. I'd rather spend my money on that or pictures or something with memories or something like that. I don't want to be drunk. That's just me though. You know what I'm saying? But I hate that for my roommate. That's what I hate. So at one time, I was because you know, I was considered. I was like, should I get my own room? But then I was like, do I want to pay any more Steve money out? Yeah, it's just so I'm learning lessons with this one. This is my first cruise. This is I'm learning how, and my person is so sweet. She's so kind, and I love. She's the bomb. I like her. So but I just did realize, and that kind of made me like, oh man, also, what else? Okay, I've said it. I don't know if I should say it because I feel like I haven't got on the cruise yet. So maybe I'll hold that back. Yeah. I hold that back. Okay, so yeah, so I'll tell y'all more as I get closer to the cruise and everything. And plus for me, it was expensive because you know what I realized? I realized that I had to do a lot of stuff. Like, because I was like, I had to buy new luggage because I was like, I didn't want to carry my old luggage. Yes, I bought new and I got it at a deal. Oh my God, I got it at a deal. And I actually bought it from Amazon. And it's the brand. I bought Noble. I was so excited about Noble because everybody talks about the carry-on with Noble. It has the cup holder, and I'm a person. I'm always when I'm in the airport, I be drinking, and I'm be that person that be because I have two suitcases normally with me because I'm a person that usually can't decide what I want to wear. And so I'll have two suitcases. And so I have a small one and a big. I'll have a carry-on and a and they're both kind of they're kind of big. Shit, I don't know. But I bought the Noble brand. I really like it. I so far love it. It is so neat. I'm really I don't know how to use it as much yet, but you can charge your phone and all this stuff. It has all these neat things to it. What I did find about the Noble brand that I did not like, and I got it at a deal. Here's what I tell people: you look around because you can get this luggage at a deal. I always tell people look around. I'm a salesperson. I catch the sale, baby. My family know that. My family be like, if you want to find out how to get something less expensive, it's all call, call, call Carlotta. She be having it. I'll be like, I'll pay what? Yeah, but yeah, it's really nice. I love the luggage. I got to say, I do. I can't wait to see what it does when you carry it. I mean, I hate it. I hate that. Okay, here's what I do. I expect this with luggage. But it's a beautiful red cherry color, and I'm just like, oh my god, I hate to see it get scratched. And I started to get a cover for them, but I was like, I don't want to do it. Stuff like that. And so I asked my roommate, I wanted to make sure I wasn't doing too much. She's like, oh, that's about what I'm going to carry. I'm like, okay. So I don't want to feel like I'm doing too much. But yeah, I mean, so yeah, that's the excitement with that one. So yeah, that's where I'm at on that. So that's where I am at on the trip. I have to go because we've been snowed in. So I called my person who does my tailoring and stuff. I talked to him the other day, and I haven't been able to get to him, so I'm trying to go to him today or tomorrow, so he can start him in, because I'm a short girl. So a lot of times when I get, like, for this white night, I had to get a cute little outfit. It's so cute. It's so adorable. I tried it on the other day. I was like, this is so cute. I don't know what to do. But yeah, so I tried that on. It's gorgeous. And so I have to have a few things I need him to, like, tailor for these theme nights. And I'm like, okay, so because I'm short, and when I buy things, sometimes they're too long. And so that's that. That's what and I'm excited. Yeah, pretty excited. What else? I'm trying to think of what else to tell y'all with this. Um, I'm trying not to be as stressed out as when I go on a trip, because normally sometimes I get to, like, Vegas. I was so tired. But by the time when I got in Vegas, I got untired because I met so many great people and stuff like that. But sometimes I'll be like so preparing for a trip that I'm tired. So I'm trying to do all my packing and everything ahead of fucking time. I'm really, but I can't do that because the person who's gonna do my seamstress stuff, he's gonna have like 3 or 4 of my sets, so I can't really, you know what I'm saying. But I can pack. I'm trying to pack most of my stuff up, have everything taken care of, everything done, so I don't overpack, so I'm not overstressed. What's in the bag is in the bag, and I'm Carlotta. I'm always gonna overpack just a little, like I said. But yeah, I'm trying to, excited about that. But that's so far. This is what I'll tell you guys about the trip. 3 things so far. Pre-boarding the trip, pre-boarding. Okay, this is what I will tell you. It is an expense. Okay, it is an expense if you've never been on a cruise before. And this is from I was talking to a relative that's been on several cruises, but they've never been on this line. And so they were to ask me what did I think so far. I mean, and I was telling them what I thought. But it is an expense. I would say plan a year out. Make sure you're understanding, about your hotel stays and stuff like that. Then also, if you have other little legitimate things you need to get done, you may have to do a little bit of your own homework regarding discounts and stuff like that for hotels and stuff like that. Hopefully has next year they'll be better at this. This is their 3rd year of doing this, so probably they're learning as they go along or something like that. But hopefully they get better as the years go on and they continue to do these things, these cruises and stuff. Of making sure the audience is making sure people are aware. And I actually think a cruise this expensive, you should give people at least, he's really been doing that, hasn't he? Been doing like 8 or 9 months. But I wish they could, they would next year, like, have that next year waiting for people or something. I think you would get a lot more people. Especially with the bigger cruise. But he sold out 2 cruises before, but they were small boats, but this one is a bigger boat. So yeah, but and here's the two things. This is one of the things reasons I don't think this one sold out. I, yet it doesn't look like it's sold out yet. I don't know what's going on, but but what yeah, because when I thought about getting my own room, and then yeah, hold on for sure. But it's not sold out so far as I know. One of the things I would say that you need to the reason why I think it probably didn't this year, bigger boat. I really believe in people. I've said this, and maybe this is my criticism. I don't think he doesn't, and maybe that's how it is. I don't know. Maybe that's how celebrities roll. I don't know, but it feels like not exciting. Like I feel like this is just this cruise. You know what I'm saying? Like this is just the cruise. Come on, enjoy and come enjoy the music and hang out. you know, I don't feel like this is a special event for him. It might be like, because people show a little bit more excitement. I just feel like I feel like there's lots of advertisement, but not like a lot of excitement. And so I tend to think this is just my personal opinion. I could be completely wrong on this and everything. And I know celebrities get busy, they have other things, but my personal opinion on things like this is that with Black people, you have to create a certain, like Essence Fest creates a certain amount of excitement. They used to years ago. They always have. It's just a thing. It's just a creation of a certain, and plus they have a magazine to support that. What they're doing in terms of we're getting ready to have the festival, and so they may have interviews, they may have this and this, somebody on the cover from the magazine and stuff like that. I just think that in today's time and everything, you really have to be that exciting part. If you're the host of that thing, you have to be excited, more excited, in my personal opinion. I mean, if you like, yeah, see y'all on the cruise. I mean, if you're not like, I feel like you should be. I always feel like we're like you have to create an energy because people are so funny with their money right now. You have to create an energy where people really want to come hang out with you. I mean, that's just one of my personal opinion. Now, if I wasn't a Maxwell fan, you know what I'm saying? I'm a big, huge Maxwell fan. So that's a difference. Like my friends, when I was talking to them about it, it's like, they first wanted to go because of me, they was like, why are you going to go on a cruise and not tell? But there's not I like when we're talking, they're almost at it, ignoring of it because it doesn't seem like a lot of excitement around it. And I think that comes from the head. I think that's just how some people this is just I don't think this is just one of the things I think that they're doing, but it just doesn't like I would think you would be talking to like months ahead of time. You'd have Ellie Warner up talking about the cruise and not just a little snippet on a commercial. Like you're having or you'd have you come on and talk with the Isley brothers, or you show up on a live and talk with Kim or something like that. You have to create a sense of excitement around this stuff. If you don't, people are going to be like, eh. You know what I'm saying? I mean, people are going to come. I think the great thing about Maxwell is he has a cult following. So the cult following has allowed him since, what is it? Since what's the Urban Hang Suite album? It's allowed him a lot of room, more than different than other artists. So yeah, and the cult following, it shows up, so I think there's a sense of I don't really need to do this or whatever, but yeah, so that's one thing I noticed. Okay. But we'll see how the cruise ends up lined up. We'll tell you what I feel about the cruise, and I'll kind of just give y'all my idea about it as we go on, as I go on it and move. God bless. Okay. Yeah. So this week, what I want to talk to you, we're going to talk about ice in a little bit here, but What's y'all it's a word for the week? Child, I don't listen. Sometimes the it's a words come off the top of my head. Uh and let me say this. I want to say this because I had a situation happen a couple of weeks ago. I think it was a week or two ago, where somebody, one of my people, listen, you can be listening to this show. Let me just tell you, I have this show. You can mistake it easily. I usually cloak my stories in a lot of things. It's usually 2 and 3 stories rounded up together. You might think it's you, but it ain't you. It says, what's that song, Joni Mitchell song that Janet Janet sample? I bet you think this song is about you, don't you, don't you? I mean, sometimes it's not about you, people. Like one of my friends come, what is that about me? No. I know a lot of people. I know people. Okay, so yeah, so no. So sometimes please do not get triggered. Please don't get triggered. And here's the thing: that's what happens when you troll. You know what I'm saying? So don't get. I'm a Scorpio girl. I trigger all day. Okay, so yeah, so try not to get triggered. It's nothing personal. Okay, nothing personal. All good. All love. All right. So now that I said that, okay, it's a word this week. Well, I'm trying to think about how I've been feeling this week. Just the legitimacy of me feeling how I've been feeling the last month. Well, I'm feeling a lot of things. I'm going through this weight loss journey, y'all. Right now, I'm stalling at a certain weight, and I'm like, come on, let's go, let's cross it over, let's tip it over. I've been really excited because I've been fitting in stuff where I haven't fit in a long time. But I'm like, really? But I'm not nowhere where I want to be. But it's been, and I'm going to share with you guys that journey too. This journey that I have had with weight and what I'm doing different and why it is working a lot better for me. So we'll talk about that. But I've been going through all this inner things, and here is what I want to say to you guys this week. I guess this is my it's a word off the top of my head, is that enjoy the journey. Enjoy the journey that life is handing you. Enjoy what every day you're going to wake up to something different, something strange. And also understanding that you're human and that you're going to make mistakes. You're not going to always be perfect. You're not going to always be likable. You're not going to always be you're going to look back at situations and say, dang, I could have done that better. And you need to learn the lessons from them so you can become a better person. But understand that every day is a journey and you will go through different things. And that to start to appreciate this beautiful journey. I was talking to a friend who was going through breast cancer. And I said to her, that one of my favorite lines from a movie, y'all know my favorite lines, and I told her this. I said, as she's going through all these things that she's, having to deal with, and you're going through those health issues and stuff like that. And I told her one of my favorite lines from a movie is Will Smith's movie. I be loving Will. I'm a Will fan, okay? But and a Jada fan too, okay? I love me some Jada. But one of the wonderful lines that he says in Collateral Damage is there's a part where a person who and I forget her name, who plays Death in the movie, says, "Don't forget to observe the collateral beauty." I love that line. That's one of the lines that gives me shivers. Like I'm like, ooh. Don't forget to observe. And I told her, don't forget to observe that. Like this walk, you're walking, you're in your fight to stay alive, in your fight um, to conquer this. Don't forget to observe the things like we usually say collateral damage, all the things that's around it just gets damaged because of the result of things, but know the collateral beauty, what you'll learn by coming through this, what you'll learn by going through this lesson. And sometimes it's so hard when you're in the lesson because you don't get it. You're sitting there like, what the hell is going on? How did I get here? You know what I'm saying? Like, what is going on? And one of the things I hope I did and I try to do as I observe the collateral beauty, some days I realize I observed it a little bit more than I thought. I'm a Scorpio. We go through those, we like going through our dark spaces alone. And usually that's how people go through them. But we love, we don't usually like to share. So we go through our little things. And we're known as that emotional creature that will go through our own stuff. But one of the most beautiful things that I look back on that time, like one of my times was, first of all, when I look at it, it was a spin. It was that year was one of the most strangest years of my life because I had just graduated from school. I wasn't quite sure of like how I should be rolling. It was like I had a lot of things going on. Emotionally, I was dealing with some things, and I just didn't have clarity on it. It was just so much going on. And it felt like I was having this little outer body experience when I was going through this. Before I went through breast cancer, I felt like I was, going through a lot of emotional things. I was, people didn't know. I had one friend who knew I almost cried every day about something. I was just really having this emotional year. I'm usually a tough girl, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, that year. And so when I find out I have breast cancer, it's such a surreal, crazy experience that I'm like, ah, you know what I'm saying? I'm knowing that this is serious. uh, and it could have been even more serious, but thank God, but God. And then you find yourself, okay, you get in fight mode because immediately you're like, okay, what we need to do. And what I find is that early part, there wasn't much observance of the collateral damage. It wasn't much of the collateral beauty, during that time. As I look back, I see the observance of it. But where the observance was for me was afterwards, like after the surgery and going through the healing process, and every day, like waking up really early in the morning for about a month and a half and going in for treatment. It's about a 5 to 10 minute treatment. And God had just put these beautiful people around me. I mean, you're so beautiful. When I tell people about my experience, they're always like, wow, I don't know. Listen, God bless me. Okay. I really don't. He tends to do that for me. I don't know. And I had these two young ladies, and they seldom changed up unless one was out on a little vacation for a day or something like that. And every morning, come in, what do you want to hear? And stuff like that while I'm getting my radiation, or they would sing to me in the thing, with Usher song while Usher's playing or something like that to make me. But all of that, and I remember sometimes just being tired, coming back from the treatment. And that's when I see it. That's when I see the collateral beauty, everything that was right, that lesson I was learning. And I was learning how fragile everything really is. It's like, and I still haven't got it perfect. I'm still confused about some things. I'm still trying to figure out some stuff. But I mean, I realize like life is just fleeting. You know what I'm saying? You 1 minute you here, next minute, you know what I'm saying? Next minute you fight for your life. Uh, and I observed the beautiful journey that I was on, and I am so thankful I get to tell y'all about that journey, and so grateful to God that He chose me for that journey. Thank you. I don't diss that journey. I don't thank you, God, for the journey of breast cancer. And thank you. I don't know it has. I know I have a friend's one of my friend's mother. Her journey has been way tougher than mine. Like stage 3, 4. Still working. I was like, like me, I'm like, wow, like strong, like a mug. Listen here. I'm like, you knocking that dead door. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? But it was just, I mean, but to the wonder, to which, if wherever, whoever you are and you're listening to me today, whatever you're going through, even the hard stuff, and it's hard sometimes when you're in it to recognize it. Now I can see it afterwards sometimes, but thank you. You will look back on your journey, the difficultyness of it, whatever you're going through, and you will say, thank you for choosing me for that, to grow, to learn the lesson, to understand it, how I'm supposed to move, how I can do better for my life, how I can do better for myself, because those lessons ground you in who you are. And it helps you to have this wonderful, beautiful human experience. I remember I was talking to a friend of mine, younger person, brokenhearted, and she was like, oh, I've been with this boyfriend for years. I was like, oh, baby. Because she's such a baby. This is back when I was in school. She's a baby. She doesn't realize that, girl, honey, listen here, your life is just starting. But she had been with this boyfriend from high school and on, and she's in her college. It was breaking up. And she was having a hard time. And I said, listen, your journey is just beginning, you know. And it's funny because I see her now, and it's totally turned around. New boyfriend that she's crazy about. I mean, like totally different. And then realizing that the one she had wasn't all that. But that's a part of growth and understanding the thing. But I was telling her, be glad for this broken heart. It's going to teach you a lot of lessons. And the lessons it taught her was to make sure that you have someone who understands you. So many people don't have that. They get married. A lot of people get married. I'm gonna tell you the truth. And a lot of people they love the other person, but they don't understand the other person. They have no clue. I love when I was listening to what's her name? Lady London. Child, if I had a daughter, Lady London would be it. No, I love her personality, but she said something so powerful. She said, and a lot of the relationships that she was in, she was either um, understood or, oh, what did she say? It was pretty. I gotta figure it. See if I can find it, y'all, because it was such a. And again, I'm getting into something with this. It's a word, and then we'll go into a couple of the things. But oh dang, did I just have it up? I did have it up. Okay. Um. uh, oh, trying to find her. She says something really good, and if I can find it. Let me see. Okay, I love when she said this. I'm going to play this for you guys to see. But I just said, and I thought that's a beautiful, and I'm going into something too different, but I still want y'all to hear it. Um, okay. Yeah, this one, I think this is it here. Oh, I don't have it up for you guys.
Me, but never both. They don't really know me.
Let me
They
play
don't
this.
really get
Let me
it.
show you
And
guys
those who
this.
do get it, for the idea of me. So I think people have either appreciated or understood me, but never both. They don't really know me. They don't really get it. And those who do get it don't know how to nourish it, don't know how to make sure it's fostered and taken care of and loved properly because they just don't appreciate it. People have.
I love what she says. People have either appreciated her or understood her, but they've never done both. And they never really understood. That's because they don't know her and they don't understand what it takes to nourish a person and everything like that. And a lot of times today in relationships, you got so many people in marriage. And listen, let me tell you something. It's a teaching in relationships too, because you have to learn people as you get to know people and you come into new relationships or new things or something like that. You have to get to know the other person and see who they are at the core. You really and that's what my baby, she didn't have that. She thought she did all those years. You know, she young and getting into it. But what she realizes, yo, like I was being someone else for him. I was always adjusting myself. I was always doing this. I was always, doing that. And she was so discouraged. It was so funny. I was laughing at her because she was so discouraged. Like, I wasted so much time. And I'm like, no, you learned a lesson. And you know what? There's women in relationships and marriages and relationships where they never got married and stuff like that, where they're dealing with the same thing. Like they're dealing with 20 years of it, baby. Your little journey, thank God for your little journey. Your little journey has taught you what's important. That to never adjust yourself, never, you know what I'm saying? I'm not saying adjust yourself because I can't say that. I would say never be take be with someone who is a detriment to your true self. That doesn't mean you don't adjust because when you love people, you adjust things for them. When you love people, you if you learn how when you love people, if you're in a relationship with somebody and you've always been uh maybe you're a person that's, like rah rah rah, you say things, but the person you're with is sensitive. And it doesn't mean that you have to change your whole being, but maybe you have to. That's what she was talking about, learning how to nurture and love someone. You have to, it's not adjusting really. It's really saying, hey, if I love this person enough, I need to watch my tone with them, how I express myself to them, because they're sensitive, in this area. Stuff like that. Which sometimes, like I'm a Leo ascendant and that Scorpio sun, so I'm one of them girls. I'm tough. I be like, rah, rah, rah. You know what I'm saying? And then, has a Scorpio. It's so funny. I was laughing at an astrologist this week. He said this a week I was listening to him about Scorpios, and he said Scorpios this year stop testing people. I was like, oh no, don't tell people we do that. We do. Like we're always, I remember like I'm not as bad at it as I used to be when I was young. When I was a young girl, oh my god, and I was dating. I used to just trigger. I had this one guy. I used to just trigger the fuck out. I just and why I used to do that to him is because I didn't trust him. So and there was and so I would just, instead of confronting that I did not trust you, I would try to trap him. I'd be like saying, I just let him, come in and like lie. I'd always catch him in like lies, and I just let him lie to me. I used to be just like, I would just trigger because I was like really I was needing him to say, hey, I care for you, and and I wouldn't do that to you. I really needed that, but he never could get to that. He was always trying to make excuses. And so I did get out of him what I wanted to get out of him. I realized that he was a liar, and he was he was this and that. And so I would one of the things that would trigger him, right? He was there. I have great stories, y'all. But he was before me. He was dating this girl, and she was white, and so my gut was saying that wasn't over. It was my gut was saying, so my gut was like, I was young, but I was young. And so what I would do is like, ran. I'd be like, so when we come into the door, I'd be like, if we be watching something on TV and we see uh, uh, like an interracial couple, I'd be saying, well, that's what you like. He'd be like, I just be like, "Rah, rah," like till I see him legitimately come out. Like, I would be like, let me wait. So that's so evil that we Scorpios. But as a young Scorpio, I used to do that to people all the time. My friends, I trigger the fuck out just to see if I can, if I get to your truth. I do that now to some. I have a person I do that to now, like a family member and a friend of mine that I do this to. But I'd be like, oh, I gotta stop doing that because I'd be like, let me stop, don't test because I've tried to learn over the years how not to test a person. But yeah, I would, do those things. It would just be crazy as a Scorpio. And I was laughing because he said, Scorpio, this year, try not to be testing people. Try to just let people know where you're at and stuff like that. And I'm like, did you know that's the maturity? Because I realize that sometimes, especially when I sense an underlying thing, you know what I'm saying? Or when I had a friend one time that was really creeping around me and I couldn't stand it because I knew they wanted something else. And I was like, why the hell are you creeping around me? What's this about here? You know what I'm saying? So what I would do is I just trigger them every time. They be just like, they be getting so mad about it. But I was just really trying to get here instead of saying to them, I know that's bad because I felt like they would make up something. So instead of saying to them, hey, what's the issue or something like that, I figure I trigger you because I figure I set up scenarios where you're gonna reveal your truth without revealing your truth. Scorpios, we're terrible sometimes with that. We are. It's like one of my little Scorpio friends was saying how she had a little guy with this. I'm on to another subject now, but yeah, it's a word. Enjoy the journey, y'all. It's gonna get better. Whatever God picks you for, it is to go through. Even if there's hard times and everything, know on the other end you will come out. Okay, it's gonna be okay. All right. But yeah, back to the funny story that I went off into. But yeah, she was telling me about this guy who was like, you know, he was kind of like, I don't know if I couldn't say stalking. That wasn't it because he wasn't, it was like a sort of a stalk, but not a stalk. And she was talking about how she just, has a scrubby. She's like, I knew his ass was there. She said, so I would just say things to piss him off. Till finally he would have to say something. This is what Scorpios do. We love it. The Scorpios, we do this kind of thing. We will pick at people until we see their truth. We'll be like, I don't know why we do. Why do we do that? I don't know, but it's something I don't know. I think we've learned over the years be trying to be a better Scorpio, not to come out of Scorpio mode and to go into ego mode and Phoenix mode. I try to catch myself when I'm doing these things. But what I will trigger you though. If I sense like I will try to, I think this is what happened with I had this with this particular person that was listening, my relative, but my relative and my friend. I've had this with relatives and friends who listen to the show, and this particular person who was listening to me try to act like they not. And so I was like, you know what? Let me trigger the fuck out of you. Because you know what? You're just gonna reveal yourself. And what they do, why are you saying was you talking about me? I'm like, I'm not talking, I wasn't talking about you at all. But why do you feel triggered? Oh, you're listening. So yeah, I mean, that's the thing, unfortunate, the crazy thing about Scorpios. Okay, but on to another thing. I don't know why I brought that topic up. Y'all know how I like to randomly start talking about stuff, but I think I was talking about Lady London and my friend and how what she learned. My young friend is that when she was going through that, she was so sad, and it was just like she was her little journey of breaking up with somebody she had been with a long time was very hard on her. But now that she's on the other side of it, she realized that that person didn't understand or know her or this and that. And while it was great for a time, it wasn't the thing to take her over into the future. And now she's in this other side and she is loving her life. She is really recognizing the freedom. But at the time, when she was going through that, oh my God, you can tell her she was just a sad little put down. That ain't what's happening, baby. Next. It's a whole new world, okay? So yeah, I just want that I thought was very powerful. That and I love what she said there because you can get a lesson out of that alone about people understanding you or appreciating, but never both, right? That's powerful in of itself, okay? And for a young lady her age should be recognized. She's not really young, but she passed the frontal lobe part of it and everything. Speaking of, let's talk about let's go on and talk about some hot topics. I'm not gonna talk about ice yet, but let's talk about um, the game. Did y'all see? I didn't even see the whole interview. I've just seen snippets, and I'm gonna go watch the whole. I've seen most of it because I've seen a lot of snippets and stuff. But oh my god, I remember Evelyn's daughter coming on the show with Evelyn many years ago, and she was so innocent. I remember she had this guy, like a little boyfriend, she was very innocent. You could tell she didn't realize how beautiful she was. You could already see. You could already see this little girl did not realize she be. You know how you know she didn't know how beautiful she was. The little boyfriend she had. I mean, he was just like a little innocent, he seemed kind of a little nerdy. And I, I, I am not surprised that she ended up in this scenario. She, does it surprise me? No, 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 no. Shanice ends up in this situation because here's what I really think. And maybe I'm wrong on this too. I think if people was talking about how Evelyn didn't school. I love the spiritual warrior had a very the young lady who's on TikTok. She had a very great commentary about it. I thought was really good and somewhat point on. But I really except for I didn't agree with the part about Evelyn. I think Evelyn did not give her a lot of game because I think women like Evelyn look at their daughters like Shanice, who seemed at the time, because what I remember her from the reality show, she was not aware of her beauty. I said, my gosh, she's pretty. She just was not aware of it. And no, and I think that women like Evelyn, who comes up in the in a different era, like you're coming up in the, I always say, if you're coming up, if you were that 70s, 80s, 90s baby coming up in that era, um, and you're coming up with not wealth, you know what I'm saying? But you're fighting your way through these streets. Evelyn was a beautiful girl who learned probably growing up in urban areas very early that she was beautiful, learning how to navigate a lot of, to get to a scratch and claw, whatever she did to get to where she is. And probably did not see that as the goal for Shanice. Like, seeing Shanice, I've worked this and that. I'm much harder. I grew up in much harder life. You don't got you're not like me really. You don't. You're. I wasn't like she's probably looking at her daughter and thinking, I was not like her at this age. So I don't have to worry about that. But what I think Evelyn, probably mothers like her, fail to sometimes miss with their daughters is they are you in some ways, and that you also have to guide naiveness, because what I tell people is uh usually what tries to visit the mother tries to visit the daughter, right? You know what I'm saying? So generational curses are no joke. So I just think Evelyn didn't think she was dealing with the same things with Shanice, and very wrong on that. And I do think very young, like you should teach a young lady how to value who she is. If she's beautiful, not teach her how to be vain, but teach her how to navigate it. Once she understands it, navigate it, making sure that you understand the power that's behind that. To me, you just don't have beauty for any reason, just to be pretty. You know what I'm saying? To me, beauty can be used as a tool to navigate you into to open doors that you would never look. I always look at the Bible. I tell people the story of Esther is about so much more than Esther's beauty, but it was Esther's beauty that opened the door. It was not just her beauty. It wasn't just her beauty, but it was also a personality that was beautiful too. And she had a cousin who understood what that beauty was and could help her navigate it to utilize that beauty in the best, in the most powerful way, sitting up on the most powerful position that she can. It is so important to teach your daughters who they are. If they're beautiful, don't use that beauty as a way to make yourself like, understand your beauty is about more than you looking good and feeling good. It is a navigation tool for you that can open up doors. I mean, I wish I understood that when I was young. You know what I'm saying? Not saying I'm beautiful, but I'm just saying, but people thought that. Some people thought. So I mean, I think my grandmother was trying to teach me, but I really, I'm mostly set up in the nice girl in the energy. I think that you have to teach your daughters to understand that. Like, I think that's what Shanice was a nice girl. And that Evelyn didn't teach her the waters of fight like she was. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so I have a little I have a family member right now, and she's a nice girl, and I'll be like, no, you will not get what you will not, I want you to expand. I want you to get it. I be trying to make her understand not only her beauty is a power tool, but her brilliance. But if you keep trying to be a nice girl, what nice girl gets you, not being kind. There's a difference between being nice and kind. Okay, nice is usually people pleasing mode. Kind is usually where you extending kindness. You're always, that's a constant mode, and it's because of the result of just who you are at the core. It isn't about people pleasing the people around you, and it isn't about you, right? So and I'm really hoping that she does not take on nice girlness, because what nice girls end up doing sometimes is ignoring their ignoring their power, and never understanding how to navigate it, and getting less than what you should have gotten. So I'm always big on women understanding their power. If Shanice had understood the beauty, and hopefully she's learned that lesson now, because she just got one baby, you know what I'm saying? But listen, if I have this one friend who's in the hood right now. She never could understand her cachet and beauty. I was like, and I took her. We went somewhere together one time, and somewhere we went out, and this is a few years back. These men We're across the way looking at us. We having dinner and everything like that. The men come over. They're from a prominent group or whatever, and they're talking to us and laughing or whatever. We know, and they're very nice. And they walk there. They didn't really, they didn't really, say much. It was cool. It was cool. But my friend was like, "Wow!" Like they just came over and talked to us. I said, "Well, are you?" I said, "But this particular friend was dealing with a dude that was." I don't even want to talk. I mean, you talking about. Oh, she didn't understand, okay? Beautiful. I said, girl, listen, let me tell you. I said, that's, the problem is you don't understand beauty. You don't understand. And so you've gotten trapped with people who you've gotten less than what you should have all your whole life because you have been dealing, you don't know who you are. And you don't know how to navigate it. And you don't know what you carry and possess. And when I said that to her, her eyes was like she felt like so many of her life decisions were not understanding that particular power in her. And this is what I'll say today about Instagram girls and stuff like that. Shit, I'm not big, and that's a whole nother lesson for them because some of them understand their beauty and stuff too well, and they weaponize it. I'm not talking about weaponize. I'm talking about. But one of the things I will say about them is they understand how to, in some ways, not always, how to navigate those things. and they navigate them to the best of their ability, whether they're selling products, whether they're being this or being, you know what I'm saying? They understand that, okay? But this particular friend, she's gorgeous. And I said to her, I said, had you understood your cachet over the years, your beauty cachet, you would not have allowed yourself some of the things to happen to yourself, your body, your spirit, man, everything like that. And it's because you were trying to live in an environment and tone down what you were in that environment. And it's caused you great damage. It caused her great damage, man. You know what I'm saying? I said she was sticking out from her environment from the beginning. So it's like sometimes, trying to tone down and everything in those environments. That's a whole nother story. But this is what I'm saying we're at with Shanice. My personal opinion. My personal opinion is that let me see here, you guys, huh? Is that's what you're looking at there. Okay, so let me let y'all hear. I was distracted, y'all. Excuse me. Okay, so let me let y'all hear this particular exchange. Shanice Hairston opens up. This is from Hollywood Unlocked. It says opens up about why relationship with the game didn't work. A lot of my anger came from you not delivering what the expectations were. Okay, let's see. Hold on. I don't know if I have that up. Do I have it up?
You not delivering what the expectations were?
Yeah.
Saying that you didn't give me enough grace because I do agree with you. And I think a lot of my anger came from you not delivering what the expectations were.
Yeah.
So we'll leave that there. But I think that I had to learn how to, when I'm done with someone, I'm done with them. And because you share a child, you can't necessarily be done with them.
Yeah.
So I think I had to learn how to wrap my mind around the fact that, like, this is for life. Because otherwise I would have been like, would we be sitting here today if we didn't have Blaze? You know what I mean?
Yeah, right. Yeah, I can see that.
Because otherwise it would have been like, all right.
Yeah, because when you start talking to somebody, you're like, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
But when you do share,
I mean, I feel like I would have still been on Drop the Low. So I would have been there.
But maybe for different reasons,
Oh, yeah,
right?
right.
Because I also do feel like we were meant to cross paths in whatever capacity we were meant to cross paths in. And we were having this conversation the other day by like, well, in my opinion, the universe and God doesn't make mistakes. So
Right.
Blaze was supposed to be here. You were supposed to be Blaze's dad. We were chosen to be his parents. So I think that I just had to learn how to grasp with the fact of like, okay, this is a situation in which you have to stick around me.
Right.
That's not my thing. That's not my dating life. There's like one ex that I ended up being friends with like a year or two after we broke up. But so I think that's what I had to.
We had a few months of like fire with fire, you know?
Yeah.
Well, thank you for saying that you didn't give me enough grace because I do.
Okay, let me just say, and he's gonna drop even more dimes on this. Okay, I don't believe her that she's one of those girls that gets out of relationships and everything like that. I believe that you probably are one, and I would love to know her birthday. I believe you're probably one that keeps trying because you're beautiful. She's so beautiful. I mean, you know what I'm saying? And I think you thought, because again, you don't understand all the complexities of beauty. Just because you're beautiful doesn't mean that beauty doesn't demand loyalty. Okay, you know what I'm saying? You can be beautiful and other people still not be loyal to you. You can be gorgeous and people still run off and cheat on you. People still run off and do all kind of stuff. Ask Holly Berry, okay? The most pretty thing one of the most prettiest things I've ever seen, even at almost 60. Okay, you know, it does. That's not your. That's where you got to understand. Beauty has its limitations. One of the things I learned. Let me tell you about weight gain. Let me tell you the fuck about weight gain. One of the beautiful things for me about my weight gain, which beforehand I was, you know, my granny raised me to be a smart girl, you know what I'm saying? But before my weight gain, I felt like I felt like the tools, I was kind of sometimes playing to a role that I really wasn't. Like, you know, a role of always being the cutesy girl or whatever, you know what I'm saying? And I really was super smart. You know, I really was, or being a home girl, or I was always playing. And what weight did for me was that it helped me to develop myself internally. Like, really, I hate to say it, it shouldn't have had to be weight to do it. You know what I'm saying? But that's what my journey was. And weight loss, I had what I learned is I had less insecurities for me. I mean, weight gain had less insecurities. I learned to introduce myself to a person by my intelligence first, before my emotional side of me or whatever, before trying to be cute. And I'm cute. I still listen. Let me tell you something. I still like to be cute now. I'm rediscovering my beauty thing in my older age. You know what I'm saying? I'm rediscovering who I am in that form in my older age, because there's been such a long time where I've been without that. So I'm reintroducing that part of myself to myself. That's why I like to take pictures. I see myself in different ways, because I'm really like trying to reintroduce myself to that side of me and understanding that side of myself. You know what I'm saying? But beforehand, for many years, I really I spent a lot of time. I learned how to be more, show my personality, uh, ground myself spiritually. Looks was important, but they wasn't the most important. You know what I'm saying? I still was cute, you know what I'm saying? But it just wasn't, they didn't meet at first, because, you know, I had gained weight. So what I learned, but what I learned is that is not, let me just tell you something. Your looks don't mean nothing if you're not grounded, if you're not, and they can only get you so far. They'll only do so much for you. You know, you have to know how to that space is. And I think a young lady like Shanice thought that she's so pretty and she didn't understand. I think she's very naive to her beauty, naive to the relationships. And I also believe that I don't believe that she's a person who usually is done with a person and all this. She might be breaking up with her little boyfriends back in high school and stuff like that and everything. Or, in her, but I believe that she is wow. And this is going to go back to what I heard the spiritual warrior say about this. But I believe that her beauty, because she didn't understand her beauty from a certain place, and maybe that she understood beauty to mean that there was a part of her that says, okay, part of her naiveness is that she didn't recognize that you could do so much better than, no offense to game, but the game. Okay, she could have did, what's all these men out here. I mean, you know what I'm saying? But she went towards this particular guy who's had a lot of background issues and he's already got kids. It's amazing, and he's much older than her and stuff like that. So she didn't make the best choice, but upon not making that best choice, she felt like, okay, well, now I'm going to change him. My beauty, who I am can change him. And it did not. She thought she was going to be different. No. It did not change him whatsoever. As a matter of fact, like most people caught in the interview that he seemed more attractive to Evelyn. That's because he's closer to Evelyn's age. And also, Evelyn is grounded in who she is, whether you like it or not. You know what I'm saying? This baby is not. And having a child is a great life lesson. That baby came to ground you in who you are and to help you understand that decisions have consequences. Okay? And beauty does not make a person want to be different. Beauty is used as an attraction method. That's how you get people in the door. You have beauty, you can attract people. But then you have to build on that. And you have to also recognize and be discerning of the people that you want in your life. Is this somebody you want in your life? Is this person going your way? You know what I'm saying? I have a particular relative who in her young years was drop dead gorgeous. She was beautiful. But she never understood. I mean, I was like, the fuck? Like, she just could never and me and her had this discussion. I talk about this on my old podcast, this discussion I had with this relative. Very beautiful relative. She was gorgeous. And even in her old age, she doesn't take care of herself, but you could tell that there was beauty there, right? And we were having a discussion about the choices in her life that she made. And one of the stories she told me was about this particular R&B star. If I told y'all who they was, y'all be like, yes, we know. They was R&B star. She met this person. She at the time is in the early 80s. She is a part-time hooker. She is doing a lot of stuff out in the streets, but she's drop dead, beautiful. So she goes to this concert one night, meets this particular artist and everything like that. But here's the deal. So she is this artist, he really likes her. He's like, you want to come? Like, she ain't even did nothing with him. Like, she hadn't even did anything with him. And she was messing with him about giving her some money or whatever, because really that's how she wrote. She's a girl, she's a hook. That was part of her thing. And she said she thought he was being really cheap, but he said something. He said something very proud. He said, hey, come with me, hang out with me this tour. I got you. Right? Now, at the time, let me tell you how her life looked. She had a boyfriend / pimp. in the streets. And this guy, yes, he's an R&B star. You don't know if you can trust him, but I was like, she told me, well, I just felt like, well, you just trying to play me and everything like that. So I'm just listening to her deduction, like her, I'm sitting here listening to her. So she like, how am you trying to blah, blah, blah. I said, but wait a minute. I said, so why? I said, so you turned down going on this tour with this man who was saying he's going to pay your way and he wanted to get to know you. And sex, you was already used to having sex. It was where it was. It was, shit. Ain't like you was already out here having sex for money and you had a boyfriend / pimp. So you mean to tell me in your head, as pretty as you was, you decided that the boyfriend / pimp and the life you was living was better than going on the tour. Taking your chances of going on the tour. I mean, when you say it like that, I was like, oh my God. I said, at least if you only went 2 cities, or if you only went 3, you might have met other people. You might have met some other celebrities. That could have been your turnaround in life. But in her head, she could never, and she even all through her years, her beauty was connected to low life. She picked the worst of the worst. She was just and what I realized later on, because I have a certain other side of the family that this particular relative would hang around all the time. And the other side of this family I have is they rough riders. You know what I'm saying? They beautiful, but they motherfucking rough like they motherfuckers. They rough riders. They grew up, in the hardcore. The girls are beautiful, but they treacherous. Like, when they was young, they was beautiful but treacherous. You wasn't gonna play them too much. You know what I'm saying? They weren't girls. These were girls that were street girls and street knowledgeable. But this particular relative that was hanging around these relatives, she was so naive. And she was trying to do what they did. But she didn't have that rah, 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 like to hang out with the hustlers and the pimps and all that stuff. She really got caught up in that because she was hanging out. And what it did is these bad choices just ate her alive. Just would never choose the right, always choosing because she didn't understand. That man was trying to tell her. The R&B star was trying to tell her, shit, girl, I'm giving you an opportunity here. More than this $100 you looking at right here. Now, I'm not saying the R&B star would have been, he could have been a bunch of bullshit too. But listen, who you going to choose? Let's think of this power of deduction. She had the choice. She was already living like a prostitute with a boyfriend pimp. He said, what would you have done? I said, I would have, I've been on tour. She's like, why would you have done that? I said, listen, now you're asking me, if you're asking me with my lifestyle as a young girl, I was very well protected. I didn't have to go on no tour with no motherfuckers. I didn't have to go run around because I wasn't no prostitute. I wasn't this and that. I had a lot of stuff I had a lot of life to look forward to. I didn't have to waste my year. I love what TK Kirkland says. I understood what did he say? Having one of the best things women can learn is having pussy control or having pussy. Yeah, I understood that already very young. So I understood that was my story. But if that was my story, if I was constantly, I already knew I had known my worth at a certain time. You know what I'm saying? But I didn't really understood the full worth of it. But I understood it already a little bit. I understood I wasn't gonna be messing with no hustlers and stuff like that. That wasn't happening. My family wasn't happening. They was like, I wish you would. You come up here and don't know how to count, don't know how to read. You know what I'm saying? So that just wasn't happening. Okay, that's just a blessing. I happened to be raised with some people, but this particular relative did not have that same thing, and her mindset for her was to choose these crazy choices with Arthur. And she never understood the full power of what she was carrying. And I said, that man was trying to show you in some senses, even if he was just trying to have sex or a sexual relationship or whatever, even though he's trying to act like he wanted to get no, but it's still, she in her mind would rather live a certain way. So when I say this is because Shanice is giving me those vibes. All the men that you had access to because of your mama being up in them reality shows, your little self chose the game. Now we haven't even finished with the other part of this interview. Okay, we gotta get the little part. We gotta give a little bit more. I gotta give a little bit more of this interview. Hold on, let me pull it up. What else he said? Okay. Let's see if we can share this.
So, you guys know, because you guys are, beautiful women. You guys are still like women, right? But men, right? Men see a baddie, we think like, I'm gonna get her pregnant. That's what men think when they see a baddie.
You gamed me.
You gamed me.
I'm just asking.
Hey, I'm just saying, when a man really sees a woman that that he likes and it's a baddie, that be our first thought. Like we be thinking like, damn, like I would have a baby by that. So yeah, I'm manifested. I'm manifested. Yeah, game manifested.
Because we talked about kids.
Yeah, true. But just so you guys know, because you guys are beautiful women. You guys are still like women, right?
And she thinks that's a flex. Okay, listen, let me tell you something. Yes, there are men who see you and they will trap you. Okay, and sometimes you got to understand where that's coming from. It's not because you're just a baddie. It's this idea to subdue, because men do have a natural thing to subdue, to change a woman's direction, to change a woman's energy. We're gonna talk about that in a minute here now, talking about Devon Franklin in a minute here. But there's this thing to subdue women. It's to subdue this energy about. I mean, you think Jay-Z don't think it's a flex that he got Beyonce? That's a motherfucking flex. Beyonce got 3 kids with this motherfucker. Like, you think that ain't no flex for his ass? Of course. He like, you know what I'm saying? That's Beyonce over there with her fine self. Okay. Listen, yes, he's getting now. Like I said, that's a Scorpio moon now. See, some men think that's a flex because he think he subdued her. I will say this to Jay-Z though. Pull my glasses for this. Y'all can't see me. Jay, that's a Scorpio moon. Look no further than Giselle. Giselle, Tom Brady. Okay. Scorpio moons have the ability to transform, just like Scorpios. And she's a Lilith Scorpio. Meaning, don't play her. Don't keep playing her. Now, Scorpios is loyal as hell. We'll say, because Beyonce's got more, she got Virgo, but she got a lot of the Scorpio in her. She's got a lot of Scorpio. Beyonce, keep playing that girl. She got that Mars and a Leo too. You keep playing with her. Okay, let me tell you something. She will be Giselle. You think you done subdue her. You think a man won't go for her no more after you. Shit. Even though Giselle done went with somebody lesser than Tom Brady, they'll still start over on your ass. Leave you out there in the fucking cold. And Scorpio code is like no other. The Scorpios get to, because Scorpios stay attached. This is the thing people don't understand. You gotta go to, like, you might have to go through an exorcism or something. Look at Lenny Kravitz just walking around here. I call him the nomad hoe. Like, look at nomad hoe. He ain't been able to find himself since. He's just walking around here. He think Lisa is free. Lisa got him caught in the web. He caught that Scorpio web. That Leo was able to get out of it though. Well, why was that Leo able to get out of it so easy? I don't know if I believe the Leo's out of it. Her other man, the Leo, she quiet. She quiet on that one. Did she care about that one as much? That Lenny though fucked her up. She fucked up about that Lenny. She was when the Scorpio fucked up about you. Good luck in getting out the way. Good luck, man. Good luck. Look at Tyrese over there. Tyrese sitting still in the wheel. Yeah, he on TJ. My money and my love. He just that Scorpio. She just fucked that Scorpio. He fell in love with Scorpio. Falling in love with these Scorpios will get you shit. They transformative, okay, including Beyonce. Jay-Z know it. Jay-Z up in there. Jay-Z think he running things. He really not. I'm just telling you that right now, Jay-Z. I used to think that too, Jay, but you not. I forget her sign. She's a Scorpio moon, Lilith a Scorpio. She'll bounce her ass will bounce on you in a minute. She just taking her time. She just something she trying to see and making sure. But what happens time too with the Liliths and Scorpios and stuff like that, there is a sense of attraction to power, right? So when you start waning in that power too, they'll bounce on you with that too. You know what I'm saying? I be talking about Scorpios like I'm not a Scorpio because I'm a Scorpio. I got mostly Libra in my chart. I feel like I'm sometimes more of a Libra than a Scorpio, right? You know, but I even though I still got a lot of Scorpio, people be like, "No, that's your first deacon." But yeah, but I understand, you know, when Scorpios are in love with you and you're in love with them or whatever, and you try to play them and they're in that like the most weird, like Beyonce up here, you know, talking about ring the alarm and shit. When you in that mode with the Scorpio, they gonna, man, it's gonna be hard to get out of it, okay? But I like, that's why Shanice strikes me as, what is Shanice giving me? A Taurus? I can't. Taurus is not even that though. I had to get said. I don't know what she's giving me. I gotta fit, you know. But she's very innocent. She seems like she has no clue. Talking about trying to get baddies pregnant. Child, yes, men will try to get you pregnant. Men will try to change your world and change your direction. Nah, so good men will see who you are and try to be a compliment to that and try to help that. But there are some men who come in your life trying to subdue you, okay? And this is what he did. He did it. Now she can get out of that too. I don't, I feel like this was a good interview. A lot of people didn't like this interview for her, but she needed it for healing purposes. You could hear her little voice was shaking. She still, you could tell she still got feelings. This is somebody who don't understand. I mean, shit, you've been dead better off at Diddy. Let me shut up. This is somebody who don't understand they work. There's a lot of men up out in these streets. Shit. Girls, Lenny Kravitz out here single. If you want an older man, he only got one kid, ain't never in no trouble. You could have found a lot of me. She could have had a lot. It's baseball player. It's all, if you gotta have them in that arena, shit. You had a lot of choices. I just don't. She reminds me of that relative I just talked about. They can't see they don't understand. They see their beauty to a point, but it's only in certain spirit. They tend to go towards the worst thing for them. Same thing with my friend. She went to do the worst thing for her. And let me tell you, those type of people change your life. They change your life. They will really, let me just tell you, women, that is a siphoning of energy going on. Certain men are, like I always say, want to siphon your energy. They want to siphon your energy. And if you keep attracting these type of men who don't want to put into you or invest into you, they will siphon your energy down till it'll leave you when you're in your older years, tired, worn out, not keeping up with yourself. I mean, it will destroy you. So, be careful of that type too. Okay. What else is one more thing? Okay, let's talk about ICE real quick. The situation with ICE. Black people, can I just say this? And I saw this with my real. Listen, this is not the Jim Crow era. What's going on with ICE? First of all, I keep trying to tell y'all, Obama had ICE. ICE been out here for years. Okay, you just didn't know it. The press is paying attention to it more. There's agendas behind illegal immigration going on in America. We're forgetting as Black people that America lived off of free labor for the longest. It can no longer do the slave trade, so it likes cheap labor. Okay, these corporations and everything like cheap labor. Now, the difference with cheap labor and free labor is that Black people were forced into slavery. But not only were they forced into slavery, they was forced into sexual acts, all kind of stuff that happened in slavery. Okay. It is very different from somebody coming from Mexico, or not just Mexico, but different Asia or all these other countries trying to come here and work for a quarter and trying to live the American dream. That is not what happened to Black Americans. Please stop saying that Black Americans, this is similar to the Jim Crow era. The fuck how? Like, what's similar? First of all, Black people in America were not breaking the law. These were people who said the color of your skin. I mean, we're gonna have a black water fountain. We're gonna have black schools. We're gonna have white schools and different. No, this is not the same thing. These are people. Illegal immigration is people who have broken the law, who come over, get a job, and don't want to follow the rules, and the police come and arrest you when you break the law. This ain't no rape. What? This ain't Jim Crow. What are y'all talking about? This is insulting to Black Americans. It's insulting to Black Americans to say such thing. Jasmine Crockett, idiot. Talking about, this reminds me of the slave patrols. Girl, first of all, a Black person saying that is just, how insulting. I would tell her, you bitch, you need to go down there to the Cincinnati to the Underground Railroad Museum, and let's talk about how if you feel this is fucking slave patrols. Okay, this is not Black American people were under attack for the color of their skin and for breaking free from slavery, inhumane act towards them. We were in forced servitude. It is not somebody illegally crossing the borders when all countries have immigration laws and they're tough on them, most of them. It is not about somebody illegally crossing the border, taking up resources that belong to citizens. That is not the same as slave patrols. What the fuck? So when I stop them, they stopping them because, listen, you got your papers? You ain't supposed to be here. Ain't your freedom papers? No. Just what I know what she tried to say. Yeah, like when they tried to stop for the freedom. No, Black people were running an inhumane forced servitude. Forced. Being called less than human. These people made a choice to illegally break the laws of another country. That you cannot compare to my ancestors' justice claim, because it's legitimate, and that's what the Democrats like to do. The only one of the main legitimate justice claims is Black Americans. Black Americans said, I remember when, Ann said it. She said, we need to get so we owe all these people. The white woman said, she said, you totally has a racist attitude and culture. She said, the only people we really only think is black people, black Americans in this country. Black Americans are the ones who have these water for this and that done to them and all this stuff. Doesn't mean that other groups haven't been treated a little less than, but ain't nobody, everybody tries to attach onto that justice claim and tries to use us and siphon our energy. And then they leave us in the dust when we help out. Then they leave you in the dust and they racist against you just like the white supremacy. Why should we? What are you talking about? Are you crazy? This is not the same thing. Why are we? And first of all, ICE was here with Obama. Okay, listen, let me let y'all hear this. ICE was here with Obama. Obama was the biggest deporter in chief, but we don't want to hear this. Okay, let's listen.
Obama administration. ICE was involved in at least 59 shootings, resulting in 24 injuries and 23 deaths across 26 states. The difference is it didn't happen during the Trump administration. I think it's terrible then. It's terrible now. People shouldn't die. I don't think that American citizens should be shot by federal agents, local agents. I'm against all of it. But I feel like what we've been saying for a long time. The reason we don't see this in Florida is very simply that we cooperate with the federal government. And so there's very few of these raids that we see. There are some, but there's
Trump
very few.
needs to know that when he's going into these sanctuary cities, they're already conditioned to hate them being there.
I agree.
They're already in the mindset of being problematic.
ICE agents.
Okay, and so here's Trump right now. Even if you don't like Trump, Trump is like, I'm protecting the laws. Even Obama says that, Obama talks about he said that his use of ICE. He said that he has to protect the laws of the land. And so if you're a sanctuary city and you are not cooperating with the laws on the books, then there's going to be problems because the federal government is like, I am here to protect the law. Now, just like the federal government came to black people's aid in the South. No, the fuck, shut the fuck. Why did the federal government, the feds, show up down south to ensure that black people get the right to vote? Because black people are citizens. Y'all keep trying to put illegal immigration is the same as black America. It is not the same. Black people were citizens in a country being treated less than citizens. These are not citizens. These are people who have broken the law, illegal, on their own, knowing what could happen. And you're comparing it to us? The federal government sent troops and everything for years down into southern places to ensure that black people got the chance to vote, that the Klan wouldn't show up, that all these nuts wouldn't show up to try to stop black people, threaten black people. That's what they had to do. Because black people were citizens and black people had the right to vote. And people who these racist terrorists was trying to stop black people from practicing their citizenship duties. So to say Trump is going to send the federal government to these sanctuary cities and saying, hey, I'm protecting the turf. This is illegal immigration. You're not supposed to be here. And if you do I like the way they're handling it? No, but you didn't hear about the way Obama was handling it because they kept it quiet. The press was in on the gig then. But now the New World Order system isn't in on the gig. They want illegals and stuff in America for some reason. For cheap labor. And they trying to make you think that this stuff, you can't listen, let me tell you something. If you black and American and you a citizen, well, they gonna start deporting you. One thing you can do about you, if you get deported, you got a birth certificate, they know you know where the fuck you from. You can fight the system. Okay. Where you gonna be deported to? If they send you over to Africa, so you can fight the system to get back because you know you're American. You have a redress. But a lot of these people are trying to get Black Americans in on something that we have nothing to do with it. And you're trying to use slavery, and you're trying to use Jim Crow and segregation and all those things and attach it to something that has nothing. It's shameful that it has nothing to do with. It is not only shameful, but it is an insult to our ancestors that had to come through that. They did not do that by choice. Insulting to the ancestors that have been stripped from their homelands, traded, beaten, raped. The fuck you talking about? This is ICE. What the fuck y'all talking about? Y'all sound crazy as hell. Slave patrols. The fuck? The insult. And the insulting come from Black American caucus. Bitches, I don't care. I heard Roland Martin going off the other day talking about we can lose half the Black caucus. Godspeed. Good riddance. And let me tell you why. Okay? Because you ain't working for Black people no more. You done stop working for the people who put you there. You done stop working for us. And what we need you there, if you ain't gonna work for us, what we need you there for? Just taking up space? Just because you got the color of the skin? No, we need to put some people up there. We need to put real candidates up there who's gonna fight for Black American things that we need. And this has happened recently. Let me show you this video I just put up today. Let me see this. This is a Black man on Lowe's on Black Democrats who fight for immigrants but not Blacks. Let's take a look at this.
I understand it. Now, if somebody's here illegal, that's against the law. What are they asking y'all to do, to break the law? Ramirez, you got Black people in that district. When you gonna ever stand up for them? They living in poverty, poor education. What are you saying? You can't even look me in my face. What are you saying? You don't care about them. And here go 8 Black faces. We the majority, and you sitting here talking about a small majority, a small voting bloc. What are you saying? Forget the biggest voting bloc that y'all supposed to represent? And listen to me, my biggest threat is not ICE. My biggest threat is the local police, the sheriff, the state troopers. It wasn't long ago that the state troopers rolled the boy down on the ATV and shot him dead. Which one of y'all stood up for us then? Ken Worthy, always overcharging. In fact, she got an interrogating unit that says after 5, 10, 30 years, oh, we made a mistake, let them go. Y'all don't say a one ugly word about that. So what are we doing here? Something that
Amen. It's plenty of things in the Black community that the Black caucus could be fucking fighting. But because the white liberal Democrats run your monkey asses. That's a monkey ass. I get that from my grandma and them. Get your monkey ass up there. Old folk talk. Okay. But because they run y'all asses and you getting paid from them, so you making ICE to your people a factor. Oh, well, see, it could be you. They could be making up shit. It could be, you know, if one person gets some situation, oh, it's expanded because the white Democrats want your justice claim. They want to offer you energetically and use your justice claim to help get them a new voter base so they don't have to deal with your Black ass. What a bunch of load of dummies. And these dummies don't care about you. What the thing more and more Black people are seeing is you don't care about Black Americans. You don't care about Black American causes. All you care about is that you up there and you got your check and your family got your check. They money. But you don't care about what's going on in these streets. You up here talking about some illegal immigration. We got plenty of shit going on in the Black community that you could be fighting for. ain't even this loud about reparations. I heard that dude on Fox the other night, and I like some of Fox News, but some of they racist. You still got their little racist element. I'm like, really, black people want reparations? Yeah, that makes sense. If you steal from somebody's ancestors, you think you want to pay them back. But fuck that. How that make no sense to you? How you expect to have good come to you? How do you expect? See, a lot of these people's Christian. They be talking about at church, but don't believe in people being repaid for the debt. The Bible constantly talks about repaying people for things that they've done. Why would you not think that was a good thing? Y'all would want to heal the land. You don't think you got to be repentant for slavery. That tells you what kind of people these people are. That's why Trump is around here moving, which I told y'all years ago, black Democrats do not participate in the removing of symbols, white symbol things. So that's all payback. White racists, because I said, first of all, you erasing their history. Keep that shit right where it's at. If white racist is up on a thing, keep it right there. But y'all was running around here tearing stuff down. So now they trying to tear down slavery shit. Or stuff that has to do with slavery. And Trump, there's nothing nice about nothing good about slavery. Nothing. You're supposed to feel guilt. White guilt is supposed to. Yes, you're supposed to be like, ooh, this is the one thing in our past that we should feel bad about. Like, I'm ashamed that these people was like this. I'm ashamed. You're supposed to be ashamed. You got a serial killer in your family. You're supposed to be ashamed of that motherfucker. You're supposed to be like, this is the motherfucker just running around here killing. You ever watch the show on the ID channel? It's called Evil Lives Here. And it's people talking about their family that went out, they were serial killers and stuff like that. They be shamed. Ridden with guilt. Like, I can't believe I knew this motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? That's how y'all should be about some of y'all relatives that participated in the slave trade, in the system that you are a part of. You should be shamed. Guilt means that you want healing from it. Guilt is a good thing. You don't stay in guilt, but you do what people do to not stay in guilt is they do something about it. They try to change it. Like those people, that's why they go on the Evil Lives Here show to try to tell their story so that maybe it can help somebody if they got a young kid out there that's doing strange things when they little. Maybe you go get them some help instead of just let them grow up to be a crazy person. Well, the same thing, you white supremacists. You want to stop white supremacy. You're supposed to feel guilt. You're supposed to feel white guilt. White guilt is good. Because it makes you say, you know what, we want a better society. That was not a good thing. Yes, no, not all of us participated in the state of slavery, but we all was a part of the system. Let's make sure that nothing like this happens. And this is the one thing that people look. We're a country that promotes, that had the Constitution that said that all men are created equal while we have men as slaves, calling them less than human. We should be ashamed of that. If not, you're not going nowhere good. If you don't acknowledge that, it's not going to go anywhere good for you. Crazy. Moving on. What's the other story I have for y'all? Okay, they talk about Anthony Anderson dating dating Roxy. Good. I mean, good for them. I ain't my business. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I mean, the man, listen, here's what I say. No, I won't say it. Shoot. Moving on. Congratulations to the new couple. Okay. Y'all gotta go to Lisa Ray and ask her thoughts. Shit, I ain't in there. All right, now what's next here? Now Bishop Jake's show, I think they were talking about reparations were a part of Dr. King's vision. He was talking to somebody, I think Bernice King.
To integrate lunch counters.
Right.
To provide the right to vote. But going forward, it's going to cost something. He said any society that does something against the people for hundreds of years must do something for people. So absolutely, how it looks is where the challenge is, because there's different thoughts about whether it should be cash payment or whether it should be, investment in different things like education, healthcare, etc. I think it needs to be a combination of all the above, because there is a price that can be paid, especially for those who descend from the enslaved. There's a way to trace that now.
Yes.
Thanks, to Ancestry.com, 23andMe, and so many others.
Other people who have been through atrocities receive reparations. Do you think that people of color deserve, need, or have a pathway forward as it relates to?
And I'm glad Bishop is talking about stuff like this. Definitely. I mean, you know what? It is. I don't know what society would not want to correct it. They only get angry about. That tells you what we're dealing with. There is. I remember Paul Mooney used to have this joke. He used to say. He said black people. He said white people. He said they mad at black Americans. He said mad because we got away. He talked about, don't he said, hey, he used to live in their houses, now don't want us to live in their neighborhoods. And he was talking about if slavery was installed back to today, they'd be like, welcome home. Your room is just like we left it. Because the thing was that slavery provided such a boost to the American economy. It really is the feat of America's being a superpower, and but it came at the expense of a people. It came at the expense of telling a people they weren't human. It came at the expense of being inhumane to a group of people, and you cannot think in your right mind that you don't owe those people anything. It is so funny. They don't even see it when you talk to them and you tell, I've had white friends, I've sat down with them. I said, well, you give reparations to this and that. And they're like, they don't even see it. They think black people, that's just, you just a natural supposed to be, servants. Oh, well, so what? We give them to the Native American. And a lot of them don't even know. They're like, wow. But there is this anger, because what it really is, they're not angry at black people, they're angry at themselves, because they have first of all humans, let me tell you this, all humanity have bad things. No matter what race, what group you are, you have the capacity to be evil, to be an ugly person. Regardless of whatever your race is, it doesn't matter. Sin knows ugliness, knows no race, right? It can get into anybody. But white people have this huge stain on them, and it makes them feel really bad about themselves, which I say is a good thing. It should make you, because it should making you feel bad about yourself. See, the first thing that comes is, hey, God, like, to acknowledge this is something that happened. Instead they deny all day. Well, it wasn't that bad. I mean, the slaves, we gave them something to eat every night, even though it was slops, it's still food. We still gave food. And it wasn't really rape. Some of them had relationships. They loved each other. There was love in slavery. They try to romanticize everything, because it's so hard for you to see that your ancestors did something so horrible, and a lot of people sat around and were okay with it. And there were some people who didn't. There were some white people who helped to create the Underground Railroad with black people. There were some white people who fought for things. So all white people didn't, but those white people understood the system. They understood that they were a part of that system, and they decided, hey, I'm going to do something about it. Not sit around and try to change it. Well, like on Fox, was it really that bad? Was it this and that? You're not people of faith at all when you're doing that. You're supposed to feel good. That's how you come. How you think you come to church? How you come to God? Because you feel sad about something. You know you ain't really but a pile of dirt. You really know you ain't nothing. And you really know you capable of the ugliest things, and you come to God for grace. And it's the same thing. I think white people have one of the most powerful moments in history to change as a group of people, because you have seen white Americans do, because you have seen the atrocities of slavery and what it could do to a people. And you should be the most kindest and saying, you know what? Yes, no. And it should be trickery either, like the Democrats. A lot of Democrat shit is trickery. No, it should be a sense of, let's do for these people what, but instead what's going on, you scared they're gonna do what you did to them. That's another thing too. That's the big fear. The big fear is they might become us. Which I don't know if y'all notice. Black Americans is the most kindest, some of the most sweetest, forgiving. We forgive way too much. We'll be in black people will be in court hugging you after you done killed somebody, and it's craziness. I mean, you know what I'm saying? They won't let justice sometimes, but yeah, black people can be overly forgiving. So we are not that type of people that we're just gonna be like. There's some of us that would be some black people that might be that way, but for the most part, as a group of people, if we was gonna get y'all, we would have been the spies of the land. We should have been working for Russia and China. We usually ain't the ones. It's usually y'all that be working for all these spies and spy groups and stuff like that. We the ones that be patriots. Black people, all the stuff that done happened to black Americans, you think we be the spies. But we not. We the loyalists. We trying to hold the ideas of this thing up. You think we be spies everywhere? It'd be more of us. It'd be 75% of black people and black Americans spy for other countries or something like that. Shit. No, we ain't did that at all. Instead, black people embrace their American heritage, embrace what they've been through. And yet you still try to treat them with despite. I love though when last week when Tucker Carlson was like, him and that guy was like, well, if anybody's heritage Americans, it's black people. I was like, amen. Finally, somebody see it. So yes, the reparations talk should definitely happen, whether you agree with it or not. Okay. Now you should always repay a debt you owe. That clears your slate. Sometimes, even with us as humans, when we going in debt, we trying to pay our people and it's always good. You know what I'm saying? All right, you guys, I think we've come to the end of the show. That was my last one. I'm getting off early, y'all. Okay, so I gave y'all a little bit of a show. All right, so excitement going to Maxwell's Urban Hang Suite cruise. I'm so excited. Y'all know I'm always excited to see Max perform. I cannot wait. And but I'm also the Isley Brothers perform that night because I love me some Isley Brothers. Okay, but so I'm excited about that Isley Brothers and then Maxwell. Oh my God, I'm so excited. So I'm trying to get my little outfit together. Okay, so like my 70s outfit. I think I'm gonna be like a flower child. I don't know. Should it be flower child? How do y'all really? Are they really gonna be dressing up? I hope they do, because I'm really gonna be cute. It's cute. It's a cute little flower child. I think I'm gonna be cute. I'm so excited. Okay, even though I've had some little things I've said, but I'm excited about the cruise. Okay, and it's my first cruise, so I'm really excited about it, despite all the little things here and there. But I am excited. Okay, you guys have. So I will tell. Maybe I don't know if I'm gonna have a show or not before. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I'll have one while I'm on the cruise. I may. All right. Okay. So I may do a live while I'm on the cruise. Okay. Maybe we'll see. Okay. Yeah, because I got that package. I got the AT&T where you can stream and stuff online. And then I'm going to have their package deal for my computers. I got to study, girl got to study while she's on the cruise still, but I'm excited about it. So maybe you'll get a show, maybe you not, but I will let you guys know all the fun things and stuff about the cruise. Okay, so you guys. Oh, and also Maxwell has this thing he's doing. You can go on his page. He's asking you about 30 years of Urban Hang Suite. Where were you at when you first heard Urban Hang Suite? He's celebrating 30 years of that. I was not a big Urban Hang Suite person. Can I say that? I didn't come into the Maxwell world to Embria. I liked Urban Hang Suite. I remember, let me just tell you what I remember about Maxwell. There's two things I remember. The first thing I remember walking past my TV one night and this beautiful dark like energy was on the screen. Like he's so dark. He reminded me of like a little bit of a young, like what a young Dracula or something might look like. He was so beautiful, and he's on Vibe magazine show. I remember that. And I remember seeing like, wow, that guy's really like beautiful. Like, it was a dark aesthetic that I thought was very beautiful. But I don't remember recalling paying it. I remember sitting there watching the interview, but not recalling Urban Hang Suite. I think the first time I remember Urban Hang Suite is the video Till the Cops Come Knocking. And I was laughing because he was crawling on that floor. I was like, the fuck you crawling on that floor for? I'm like that, I'm young, and I'm like, well, like, oh, but he's fine though, whatever. But that's my thing is remembering Till the Cops Come Knocking, right? Till the Cops Come Knocking, and that's one of my favorite songs by Maxwell. But Till the Cops Come Knocking, that video was very, very Maxwell. I feel like it gives me a piece of Max. I don't know if that was a part of the imagery they were trying to use with him. I don't know, but I feel like it's Maxwell. I feel like that whole first album, like the first when he's in the video, like you get to see more of his personality a little bit when you see him in the cab with the girl or stuff like that. I feel like that a little bit. Those videos, early videos, show a little quirky sides of Maxwell. The whenever, whatever is kind of a spooky, weird one, but he's so cute. It kind of makes it not spooky, like a spooky. Like he reminds me of the dude on what's the dude, the serial killer guy on that video? What's the dude, the show with the serial killer dude? He or something. I forget what the name of it is. I only saw a couple episodes, but he reminds me of. He has that energy on that video with whatever shit. I don't know. That's what I remember about it. And I love, what's my favorite video? It's not even the Urban Hang Suite. It's from Embria. It's Matrimony. But I love Matrimony. Oh, wait a minute. No. Take that back. Yeah, it still would be Embria because what's that? The video is the luxury couture. Oh my God, that video! Gosh, where is that? I got the video, but they should never took that video. Oh, I do remember the Ascension video. I thought the Ascension video was so dope. Maxwell's always been really good at videos. I like his little, even if they're strange, even if he's crawling around on a dirty hotel. But you understand that it's introducing what I loved about it. Let me just say this. I'm not going to call the line because shit, I ain't got time for that. But what I love, they have a line you can call. I don't know if they're going to use it for some sort of thing for him or something like that. But I'll say my piece right here. What I loved about that Till the Cops Come Knocking video, it introduces the sensuality and sexuality and sound of Maxwell in a very unique way. Like you felt like you were getting the experience, whatever that experience was. No. You look at that video, go back and look at Till the Cops Come Knocking, right? Till the Cops Come Knocking. You feel like you're getting like some sort of experience, and let that energy take you over. It's like it's sexy. You're like, you like that? Like you get it's all the weird aesthetics going on. The cross hanging up above the bed. Was it a cross or something hanging up above the bed or something or in the thing? Oh my god, you get this weird room. You get him crawling around this person's leg. Oh my god, it's the extra sensual. You get a new vibe of sensuality. I think that you haven't had since Marvin Gaye. No, I really have to say that he is the king of that. He is the king of introducing this I don't know what it is. It's like a dark aesthetic, sensual, sexual, warlocky uh, uh dope R&B sound that nobody has. It's so Maxwell. I was like, I feel like that's you. Like I feel like that's I love it. That's what I will say that about that video. I have more appreciation for that video now than I did back then. I think back then I was like, huh? Like girl, you crying on the floor. But I did notice the little aesthetics, like the sensuality, the spirituality of sex. Oh, I was like, oh shit, yeah, right, you get it. It was just such a beautiful. If you see that, if you notice that about that, that's dope. That's fire. I like that. I like that. I don't know if he did that or if that's his people gave him that energy. I feel like it's him. But yeah, I love everything about that. I think that is so super like it's supercharged sexy energy that I love. You can still feel that on the video. Next, what I like, I already talked about the taxi cab, something something. I love the whole that whole quirky kind of thing. Ascension, I love the idea of people dancing around. I like the suit. I love Maxwell's always beautiful. He's such a beautiful, and I think that's part. Can I just say this? I love that he embraces without embracing it in a weird way. It's like he embraces the beauty of himself, but without embracing it. It's a weird kind of weird thing. But he's comfortable. He sits comfortable in it. I think. I don't think he always did, but I think that maybe like when we see him on those videos, he looks like he's sitting comfortably in it. He looks like he's sitting very comfortably in that space, in that sensual, sexual, and it's a part of his sound. It's such a beautiful sound, and it's so unusual. And I don't think you get that sound from anyone else. It's such a rare, such a beautiful thing. And I think you don't, and I think it's very different, even though it's Black American, it's Black American R&B music, but I believe because he's Haitian and Puerto Rican, he brings something so different to the table in the neo soul sound of the 90s. He brings something so different, this vibe that is very, it's just, I feel like the others neo soul singers, they all had that sense of spirituality too. But I think Maxwell even brings that even more kind of, and I don't know if he meant to do that, but yeah. So yeah, that's how I feel about Urban Hang Suite. That's what I can say from the memory I have of Urban Hang Suite. But I was not the Urban Hang Suite girl. I was the Embria girl. The Embria is what got me. Embria was my shit. Okay, I love Embria. Okay, but yeah, but I understand why people love Urban Hang Suite too. Right, I really do. That's that. All right, I'm out. Y'all have a good one. See y'all. Remember, you can hit me up on the Carlotta Chat with Facebook page. You can hit me up by you can go into you guys can write me in the message. You can also hit me up on Instagram, Carly's with an S_Galaxy. Also, there's a link there for Threads. And you can hit me up on TikTok, Keisha Carlotta, okay? I'm out. Y'all have a good one. Y'all enjoyed it, man. Y'all try to get through this code, okay? I'm out. I'll see y'all later. Leave y'all with. What's the song? Child, I don't know what song I'm going to leave y'all with? Chasing the Ducks or something? We going to leave y'all with something. I'm out. Have a good one.